Okay, guys, welcome to my live show. If you are joining, please make sure you're staying tuned. It's going to be a wonderful evening. Again, thank you for being part of the evening. Again, if you are joining me, be good and be part of this evening, as it's going to be another wonderful time to discuss this today. I am live on the YouTube channel, and I'm also live directly on our TikTok page. And I want to thank you guys for being part of the evening. Please join us even as we discuss very important topic and conversation. Thank you for those of you guys that are joining. I really appreciate you people that are going to be part of the evening today. As I put it there as a P2B 2027, I meant it. These are the topic that I want to discuss about today. Welcome back to my show. My name is Ben. For joining me for the very first time. If you're joining me for the very first time, thank you for being here today. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're on the YouTube, and stay connected on this platform. On this platform, we talk about everything, mostly Nigerian politics, social affairs, and every other thing that gets in our way. Let's start with Nigeria, my fatherland. Election is around the corner in 2027, and even though it may look far away, the past few weeks have showed you that Nigerian ruling party are rattled, they're scared, they don't know what to do, and they're confused. And to me, to be honest with you, I will talk about that because I know what it takes to have a good nation, and I know what it takes to have a bad one. So we're going to discuss about that and all the strategies that is involved. If you know you love your country or you cares about the country, then you should be able to speak the truth even while far away. I'm not benefiting anything from Nigeria. So anytime I come down on this platform, I will spit out the truth and the truth only, nothing else. Let's start with that. The past week has been full of headlines. Nnamdi Kanu was in court today, and yesterday, Rashidi Ladoja, the former governor and senator, was also crowned as the new Oba of Ibadan. The coronation drew a lot of people. Tinubu was there. But here is the distraction that made waves. P2B greeted the new Oba respectfully, referring to him as my brother, which makes sense because they were both governors. At the same time, they have history. Ladoja even went to the Senate. Naturally, there's a relationship between these two people. P2B was a governor. Ladoja was a governor. Ladoja was impeached. P2B was impeached. Ladoja fight to get back to seat. Ladoja fought hard to go back to the Senate to win his seat back. P2B also fought hard to win his seat back, as they were both impeached unjustifiably. So when P2B referred to Ladoja as my brother, I can understand why he would say such a thing. But of course, when they have nothing to offer, they will be dragging this man like there's no tomorrow. Of course, APC surrogate from Reno Mokre, useless, jobless Reno Mokre, is on the internet shouting, and the rest of the Yoruba activists has taken over. I don't call them Nigeria because they are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. They are Yoruba merchant, Al-Shabaab. I call them Al-Shabaab, Tinubu merchant. And they quickly took it and begin to drag P2B. In every corner, they want to drag him. Why can P2B call Ladoja my brother? How can P2B say Ladoja is my brother? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are at the moment. It's a distraction, and they will keep on giving it to you until 2027. But I can guarantee you, I don't care how much more you want to whitewash Tinubu. Tinubu is going in 2027. Nigeria cannot afford to have him until 2031. That is what you are anticipating. I want you to take a look at the president yourself. Take a look at that man and say you want to have this man in the helms of affair till 2031. That is what you are anticipating. Because if you win election in 2027, then he will be there 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031. That is what he will be there for. Are you not afraid? Are you not scared? And you allow people that are looking for today's food to decide the next 5 years of your life for you. Nigerians, you people need to wake up. You people really need to wake up. You people need to wake up. As I said, but the APC supporter led by ever jobless Reno Mokre turn it into another online drama. They attack P2B simply for calling a man he has worked with as my brother. And this, my people, is what passes as a priority for Nigerians and in Nigerian political space today. Our economy is shrinking, our ruling party is inactive, the government and the country is stooping downturn, and yet our youth are distracted. Neither they are debating about Very Dark Man or about Yabo Joe or about this or about that. Nobody's talking about anything at all. Or they will be spending their time attending Gege University. This is where we are. Our economy is going down. Naira is nowhere to be found. I heard yesterday that fuel is going to 1,100 very soon, including Dangote's own. And yet our youth are distracted, debating nonsense on social media instead of focusing on the futures of their lives and their children. This is the crisis we are in. Not just bad leadership, but misplaced priority. Welcome once again to the show. If you are streaming on TikTok, or if you're streaming with me on Twitch, subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, also subscribe to the channel, even as we begin. For those of you guys on TikTok, I want to thank you for being part of the evening. As I tell you guys, I do politics. I am not here. Now, if you join my live and you want to appreciate the live, you are more than welcome. But let me tell you something. My live segment is not based on your gift. It's based on your ideology. You got to come here. You got to convince me. You got to be part of the conversation. You got to be part of the conversation. You got to understand that our country is shrinking. And we cannot afford to have Tinubu in charge of Nigeria beyond 2027. And if you are keeping quiet, if you think it's hard now, it's going to get harder. I don't care how much you like this man. I don't care how much you like him. You can't like him than our country. You can't like him than Nigeria. So if you don't like him than Nigeria, then you must make hay while the sun is still shining. We must do our best to do what we need to do and take him off the power. And that is what I think Nigerian people should do. And that's what I believe we will do. So welcome to the live show again. As I said, what is wrong in P2B referring to Obaladoja as his brother? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But this is where they came from. They're attacking him left and right. How can you call Ladoja your friend, my brother? He didn't even call the man my friend. He called him my brother. That's what he said, my brother. He called him my brother. And that is what APC surrogate are talking about. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think P2B is such a big problem for this political party? They don't attack Atiku. You don't see them attacking Atiku. Why do you think P2B is such a massive problem for them? Why do you think P2B is such a massive problem for this political party? Since they came into power, everything they do is about P2B. The only person they are attacking is P2B. You hardly see them talk about Atiku. You hardly see P2B don't even have a stable political party to contest on top at the moment. But all of their attack is on P2B. What is going on? Did they know that? Are they thinking of what I'm thinking? Or because they know who actually won the 2023 election? They know who won the 2023, the seat they are sitting. They know who won that seat. They know who sat on that seat in 2023. So constantly, all of APC surrogate, they attack P2B. All of their agenda is to truncate any chance of P2B in 2027. But I can tell you, Nigerian people are not that coward. They may be naive, but when they come to reality, they know who is for them and who is not for them. And I will be telling you now that it is a political thing that is happening in Nigeria. Our social media has been captured. We have a government that is a Muslim ticket in a country dominated by two big religions. We have Muslim ticket, and they want to repeat that in 2027. Now they are sending their pastors who they are giving big money to and say, we don't really have a problem. But let me tell you something. The world is watching how terrorists, Islamic terrorists, are taking over Nigeria, destroying Nigeria, taking over our country. We can see it happening. We can see it happening across the northern part of Nigeria. And this government concentrate their attention. We see them negotiating with a known terrorist, attending the meeting with all of their weapon and gadget. Then we can see Nnamdi Kanu being locked up for the last 3 years and no trial. That is what we are talking about. That is the country of Nigeria that we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So as we continue having this conversation, we're going to be open. And if you join my live stream, you will know that you're not coming here to give gift or to dance or to shake nyash. It is to come and talk about reality that is confronting Africa's most populated nation. But we're not where to be found. Our youth are running out of the country. Hopelessness is order of the day. Where are we going from here, ladies and gentlemen? That is why I always come here to talk about it. And I'm not afraid to be your anchor to discuss something that I know is of importance to you, to your future, to the futures of your children. Those are the conversations I want to have. Now, if you join this live and you like what you are hearing, then by all means, be part of it and share it with other people that may show similar interest. For those of you guys on YouTube, I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me on YouTube, do just make a comment on the comment section. Let me see if you guys can hear me. I would really appreciate it because I can hear myself. I just test the mic now. Hopefully, you people can hear me. If you can hear me on YouTube, leave your comment on the board there and I will see it. And on TikTok, I believe that you guys are hearing me as well. I want to thank you guys for being part of the evening as well. They constantly challenge P2B. They constantly insult him. They constantly come on him. They constantly come on him. Constantly come on him. Why? Why do you think P2B? Why do you think P2B is their problem? Why do you think P2B is their biggest wahala to date? Why do you think P2B is the problem of Nigeria? I want people that know politics to join me and come and have their say as well. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Day after day, APC Surrogan launch attack on P2B. Everything they do is aimed at blocking any chance he has in 2027, including manipulating social media. But ask yourself, why do you think they fear him so much? Why does a man whose record, idea, voice matter threaten them so deeply? You don't ask yourself about these questions. Nigerians are not cowards. They may appear naive sometimes, but when reality hits, they know who is truly for them. Now you can send all the surrogate out, you can change the narrative as much as you want. When the reality hits, then go know who is for them. Because there are no mumus. Nigerians are no mumus. What you are seeing is not a random attack on him. It is a perpetrated plan. It is deliberate political project. Why do you think our social media space has been captured? Because controlling the narrative means controlling the minds. You silence the dissent. You censor critic. You shape what people believe in and what are their priorities. That is what they're doing. That is why they created Very Dark Man. They're creating all of these clowns in Nigeria, turning themselves into heroes. Instead of holding the state accountable, they want to be their mini state, the fourth arm of government. VDM came out the other day and he said he's the fourth arm of the government. I don't know what that means. Changing the narrative. There is no consensus among Nigerian youth to come together and fight the common fight. Everybody wants to be a social media influencer where you say things that please your gifters. We have government built on Muslim ticket in a nation where religion is a critical identity. This isn't just a politics. It is symbolic. Think about it. Muslim ticket. They've successfully executed it. And they want to continue that in 2027. We're not going to allow that. And then they are now turning the pastors in Nigeria into clowns so that the love and the interest on them is no longer attractable. That's why you are seeing all these religious pastors. They are turning themselves into clowns, performing miracles that make you to laugh. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly, they make them a joke so that when you are talking about, oh, I'm a Christian, you are even ashamed to point at any pastors. They make them to lie. They make them to say things that question your logic. Like I asked somebody to enter toilet and appear in France. Those kind of things desensitize Nigerians and Christians to advocating for what they actually believe in. They are trying to cancel your religion indirectly. The government, who is they is the government. Who is they is the government. And if you think the government is not involved in some of those nonsense that those pastors are saying, you are joking. Did you not remember when Apostle Suleiman was traveling and they attacked him and 4 police officers were pied? Did you hear any investigation about that? Apostle Suleiman came on the altar. He said, I know the people that attacked me. I know them. He said, I know the people that attacked me. He said he knows them. He has a disagreement with them. So they attacked him. And 4 police officers, pie. What is the investigation? So if those men are not with government, why do you think a pastor will be, they'll try to pie a pastor on a major road? 4 police officers got slain on the road. And the pastor came on the altar and he said, I know the people that sent those piers to come and pie me. And the government did not do anything about it. Are you reconciling now? Are you getting my point now? Does it make any sense to you now? Or it's not still clicking to you? He said, I know the people. I know the people that sent these people to attack me. I know them. And 4 police officers lost their lives. And the government is not investigating it. And nobody is behind the bar. And the pastor continued preaching on the altar. Tell me, who is that pastor working for? You don't want to think about it. I will talk about it. Because I am not controlled by your internet space in Nigeria. I am not controlled by your cybercrime bill. I am not being sponsored by any political party. I am not a loyalist of the government of the day. And I am not even a loyalist of any political party. But I can just tell you that we have so much at stake that we cannot continue allowing these people to have free ride at your own detriment, at your own expenses. That is why we are talking. All of the attack now is on P2B. Why do you think the man is being attacked? They want to repeat 2023 in 2027. They want to, that's what they want to do. They took over power. They control INEC. They control everything. They control judiciary. They control the army. But all of that dominance is not enough. They need legitimacy. They need to send a message. We decided who belongs to. They send your pastors to you, pay them handsomely to tell their congregation nothing is wrong in Nigeria. Move along. God will heal you. God will provide you a job. God will protect you. God will do this. God will do that. They are in charge of your churches. If you don't know, you know today. And the real Christian in Nigeria need to begin to raise their voices and begin to check what is going on. They want to make you feel how you want to feel. They have idea what they want to do with you. But let me tell you something. If P2B contests election in 2027, he will win a landslide victory. Just like he won the last time, because none of you can tell me that P2B did not win election in 2023. He won that elections. We know it. We know it. That is why they've been struggling. They've been struggling. And what they will come and talk about, the P2B is greeting somebody, is greeting Ladoja, calling Ladoja my brother. That is their own, that is the APC surrogate, that is their own kind of argument. They're not talking about the Islamic terrorists that are expanding across the northern community, destroying farms, life lost, shattered every community in the northern part of Nigeria. APC are not talking about it. And this government, they negotiate with knowing terrorists. We've seen it. The videos are available. Terrorists sitting in the meeting with their GUN with them, while Nnamdi Kanu is locked up years without trial. Counting off on one finger. Why is he kept in detention? Can you ask yourself, why is Nnamdi Kanu is kept on detention? Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost going to 4 years now. Why is he kept on detention? You don't want to ask yourself. They are doing all of that. Why they tolerate hundreds of attacks across Nigeria? Why focusing on silencing one voice, just one person? Because the stakes are high. This is not just politics. This is a fight for identity, for resources, for who control the narrative. So listen carefully. This is Nigeria where we live in. This is the Nigeria I warn you about. We cannot get anything done except we come to unite as people. We have to unite. See that your pain is my pain. And let us come together. That's why I keep telling you about Nepal. When the Nepal people had enough, they took it upon their hand to rescue their country. And they've successfully done it. They've done it. They changed their government. They changed their government. They united and changed their government. And when we talk about it, they say, oh, Nigeria have so many languages. We have so many tribes. It's not possible. It's not achievable in Nigeria. I laughed. Nepal is about 25 million people. They have over 100 languages. and they fought to liberate themselves. So it is possible it can be done in Nigeria as well. We cannot let fear destroy us. So we must ask questions. We must name what is wrong, and we must hold power account. And this is where the conversation will start from. So if you are joining on TikTok and you want to be part of the live conversation, you can join. Do you think P2B will have a big chance in 2027? Do you want Tinubu to continue? So far, so good. How do you rate this Tinubu government? Where is Nigeria heading to? What are the directions? Why do you think our youth and their priority has completely changed? What is going on in the land? Those are the questions that I want you to join me and ask Nigerians as a Nigerian, and ask yourself, what is really going on? What is going on? We shared a story yesterday about a governor, the governor of Edo State, who came to the UK here and made a very dubious announcement that he has signed a deal of $250 million to a company in this country. I'm not talking about $250,000. I'm talking about $250 million. Governor Okpebholo of Edo State announced that deal in the UK here. He announced it in the UK here. Medias in Nigeria, no verification, no checking. They all join and promote this outlandish, dubious $250 million deal. $250 million deal. That is $500 million with a company called Africa CCI. I'm still checking to understand what CCI mean. Africa CCI. The governor announced a deal with this company. And Nigerian media, Punch, this day, all of the major media collect their money and they posted it. No question asked. Because we don't have journalists in Nigeria. In the whole of Nigeria, you can count how many blogs is actually talking about politics. Yeah, I can guarantee you. Maybe we are number one on this platform. The rest, real bloggers, they are looking for gift and dating. Everybody want to have a dating app, dating show, or prayer session. This priority as a country, 250 million population to 300 population. So the governor announced that he has signed a deal with this dubious company, Africa CCI. And the whole journalists in Nigeria, they share it. They share the news. Now, one will expect at least one media house to say, who is this company? Before they even share it and investigate it and check it out. They didn't. It takes one Edo guy to say, hold on a second, let me check who is this company. Who is this company that my state is awarding $250 million business to? Who is this company that my state is joining to execute a $250 million project? And they check. And they check. And when the guy went online to check about this Africa CCI, we discovered it was a fake company, a new website that was just being built. The directors, they are all fraud. The phone number they listed on their site, fake. The email address they input, fake. And that is what Nigerian media are posting. So when I'm telling you that this government have successfully captured every fibers of our society, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But as long as you still control your mind, please do not let them interfere with it. Let us ask questions. Stop following influencers. Start engaging your common sense. If it's too good to be true, it's not true. It's a lie. So on checking, these journalists from Edo State who happened to live abroad just like me decided to phone that particular phone number that was listed on the website of this Euro Africa CCI. When they checked, they called the phone number, somebody else picked the phone number. And the lady said, I don't know what you're talking about. The man said, hold on. Are you not Euro Africa CCI? The lady said, me go English. I don't hear English. The man said, please let me repeat the phone number for you. The man called the phone number. The lady said, yes, that is my phone number. But I don't know what you are talking about. The man went and checked his email account, sent an email to the email address that is on Euro Africa CCI website, the website that the state governor in Nigeria have entered a deal with. The website of the company that the state governor in Nigeria entered a deal of $250 million with. He sent an inquiry email and the email bounced back. Now, when I read that news yesterday, I did not stop there. I then went and do my research as well. I went and Googled it, search about the company. The company said they have over 100, they are present in 100 countries across the world. That is a big statement. 100 countries. And they are into agriculture and they are into empowerment. And every time you hear empowerment from an African person, you have to begin to run, because empowerment is literally mean carrying money without accountability and giving it to somebody. That is what empowerment is in Nigeria. Let me use Nigeria as an example. So these companies say they are present in 100 countries across the world. And I decided to do my research. You have your phone with you, you can do your research. They listed their office is in Dublin. Their head office is in Dublin, in Ireland. I then copy the address and put it on Google Image Address Finder. And it takes me to a warehouse or a residential area. I did not stop there. I also put the address they put on their website, and I put it also to search in Nigeria. It took me to a house that was listed to be sold for 80 million naira in Abuja. I did not stop there. I picked up my phone and sent them an email. The email bounced back, invalid. And this is the story that major Nigerian newspaper, Punch News, this day, the Tribunal, and all the so-called heavyweight newspaper in Nigeria, they carry this story with fanfare. They splash it on their front page, presenting it as something great, as a great achievement for the governor. If not because of that curious indigene, we wouldn't have known this. And ironically, the same governor paid a tout in the state almost ₦1 billion. Tony Kabaka received almost ₦1 billion, 914 million naira for his house that was built, that was demolished by Governor Obaseki. You know, Edo people are very active on social media. The reason I'm taking this case, I know exactly what I'm talking. Because currently, the main active ingredient on our social media that goes around insulting people and causing chaos on social media are Edos, both in diaspora and back home. That is your governor there. The governor told the diaspora and Edo diaspora in the UK that he is promising Tinubu a 2 million vote from Edo in 2027. This is the same governor that told Peter Obi, if you come to Edo State, whatever happened to you, take it. That is the same governor. That governor did not tell Atiku, who came second, whatever happened to you, take it. He did not tell El-Rufai, who have declared war on the state, on the governor, on the president. But he's telling Peter to be a peaceful man. He's threatening him. That is the same governor of Kwebelo that came to the UK. The same governor that cannot even pronounce his own budget. I'm not attacking him. I'm quoting him step by step. So Edo people, make una attend to that man case. I know that very dark man has changed una brain. Una loyalty has been converted to VDM, the hero of our time. Tinubu, fourth arm of government. You people cannot see. They wanted to duplicate Obi by any means necessary. They have to go and create a very dark man. It's political. And if I'm going to talk about politics, I'm not going to take my mouth off some certain characters that are acting in the field of play in Nigerian politics. If you know, you know. Now, some of you guys may say, Mr. Ben, what is wrong with you? Why are you talking? Why are you not giving up on this very dark man? Leave him alone. He's just a young boy. Well, we don't talk about age when it comes to power. The reality is this. Our social media has been captured by APC. Our media space has been captured. A cybercrime bill has been passed. Our influencers has been compromised. Our youth have been redirected to TikTok to earn their living, to Instagram to become content creator, to Meta to do anything to earn money on social media, rather than holding their government accountable. Their priority change. Nobody wants to talk anything. Look at the kind of topic I am having right now. They don't want to talk about it. I may not be right. I am not right. I am not omniscience. I don't believe in a man that believes that he's the most smartest person. No, I am not. I am not at all. You got to believe me. I am not smart. I am not wise. I am not the most knowing person. In short, I am brainless. But I try to use the little sense I have to have a conversation that I'm passionate about, which is the liberation of our people. Every country, they have their frontiers, their frontliners, people who defend their constitution, who defend their vulnerable, who fight for what is right, who fight for fairness, justice, equity, who fight against corruption. But when we have a country where the government has made it their national assignment to brainwash Nigerians into compliance, that is what I will not take. Now, most of the stuff I'm saying now, if I say it in Nigeria, I'll be arrested. because they have a cyber crime bill now that prohibits you from using a vulgar language against any officials in Nigeria. That is why you see everybody turning into compliance. They want you to open your social media account and talk like Gege, talk like Gege, talk like Pella, talk like very dark man. Look for one person to fight today, one person to fight tomorrow, and ignore the evil of APC government in our land. The ineptism of Tinubu's government. The corruption that is taking place in that government is unprecedented. They want you to turn your ring light on and say, Gege University, come on, join me. That's what they want you to do. And Nigerians, adults, will take their paper and pen and be listening to Gege. I have nothing against Gege, I want you to understand. But I have done my research. I have done my research on all of these influential, and I know that they are not operating alone. They started alone. For example, Gege started. Gege is not politics. I don't think anybody ever go to Gege and say, Gege, I want you to say this. No, Gege is not like that. I want you to get me right. Neither Pella. But I was watching a live stream of Gege one day. Let me just pull this out because I was watching a live stream of Gege. I was watching it. This is why I told you that the government have actually taken over our social media and they have prioritized what our youth engage with on social media. Now, they are also behind a lot of comment section. That is why in Nigeria at the moment, you see so many fake accounts that are going to basically attack anybody that asks questions. And they have their own influencers, narrative changers, people that literally will direct heat from the government to some certain individual in the country. Now, let me tell you about what I find out about these influencers. For example, there's a guy called Gege in Nigeria. He came online the other day and he was live streaming. And I watched him. And he, under 30 minutes, he has 150,000 people watching him. I was looking at the account blowing up in real life. And I was looking at the gift that was coming. They were sending lions. They were sending lions. They were sending all of these crazy gifts. And I have TikTok, so I know the price of this kind of gift on TikTok. I checked. And after the live stream, Gege said he received over like almost $18,000 worth of gift. And 150,000 joined. And TikTok is so good. You will see how many people gifted him. 150,000, 19 people gifted him. 19, 19. And they were giving lions. And I begin to ask a deep questions. And I was able to come to the conclusion that when Gege went live, some fake account joined, some government account joined, some lobbyist account, government lobbyist joined. They are gifting him lions, or the highest gift in the gift in TikTok store. They are giving this guy. You and I know, no ordinary Nigerians will do such thing. You and I know. And at the end of the live stream, he has 19 gifters. Now, where do you see 19 gifters that will give $10,000 on a 45-minute live stream if it is not conditioned? Now, a lot of people will ask me, Mr. Ben, you are going too far. Why do you think they will do that? They know what they're doing. They want to divert youth attention. So when you see Gege doing it, you too, you now on your ring light. You on your ring light, you'll be talking rubbish. Because topic like this don't give lion. Conversation like this, you can't get lions. Where you're talking about politics, where you're critical about government. Who is going to give you lions? They come out now and talk about Nyash. Talk about things that is completely irrelevant. Nigeria is only country in the world where their youth do not take politics serious, where we do not have ideology that govern our country. I don't care whether you are APC, whether you are PDP, whether you are Labour Party, there has to be idea. We don't have a university that have idea from the uni. We have courtism, court. Who carries somebody's girlfriend? Let's go and chop his head off. That's what they do. There is no ideology behind anything. Nothing. We don't have idea. Nigeria is the only country. I was watching the speech of the young guy that made a speech in Nepal. Nepal that caused the revolution. The boy is just a senior secondary school student. He made this speech on the 15th of March, a very passionate speech, and called his country to order. A young secondary school student. And that speech went on internet, and the speech began to destabilize the internet. And then the government decided to introduce a social media bill to control it. They restricted it. And then the Nepal young people came out. The government shot at them. They stood their ground. And they stood their ground. Because when the people are united, that is a power, that is a force. And they were able to defeat their government. I posted most of the video. Some of them are 100,000 views on my page. 100K view, where you see them doing citizen arrest on their prime minister, on their prime minister's wife. You can see them doing it. Nepal is 25 million people. Nigeria is almost 300 million people. Governed with almost less than 2,000 people are in charge of your life. 2,000 people are the one controlling you. 2,000 people. And we are coward as a nation. Just keeping quiet. Looking for Gege or very dark man to save you from kidnapper. Now, very dark man say he want to do the cleaning of the road for you people. What is the responsibility of the government? When the government own them, they want to be patriotic. I love Nigeria. You don't love Nigeria. Somebody is piping your pocket. That's why you are saying you love the country. I'm going to keep talking. I didn't know when I started this platform, especially when I started the platform on social media, Facebook and all of this, I did not plan for gift. So we are not influenced by gift. So we are looking for people that have ideology, that knows that the young people of today in Nigeria are docile. We are docile. We are lazy. We are absolutely lazy. We're lazy. We're not serious. Our priority is not straight. Let me tell you the sad truth. I was reading an article today. They said Nigerians are calling for President Jonathan to come and contest election. Nigerians are calling for Jonathan to run for 2027. I'm going to remind you of Jonathan. All of this you are hearing is a distractions. We published an article on Nigeria 24 News the other day that stated Desani, the former petroleum minister under Goodluck Jonathan, alleged that he gave $9 billion to a current governor in Nigeria when that current governor was a director in First Bank. This woman, who acted as oil minister under the most incompetent young president, Goodluck Jonathan, whether you like it or not, he's an incompetent president. He did not govern. He's a clueless guy. Don't forget, don't let us talk about how we got Buhari in the first place. It was Jonathan was so incompetent that Nigerians were ready to replace him with a demagogue like Buhari in 2015. If you forget it, let's remind you. We have Dasuki Gate. Then we have Desani. Desani said he kept some money with this guy up to $9 billion. And now the man is the governor, and the man had kept the money to himself. The man is doing everything for Desani not to return to Nigeria. Desani faced charges in the UK here. Now, Nigerian government have not been able to recover much from Desani. Now, Desani, who served under Jonathan, and we all know that Jonathan's incompetency was the reason why we voted for Buhari in 2015. Somebody is now saying that Jonathan should run in 2027. I hear Jerry Ghana. By the way, what they are doing is that they want a candidate that will be on the ballot, but not P2B. Because it's only P2B that you have nothing against. You have nothing on. Nobody has anything against this man. They don't want him on the ballot. P2B is an automatic win if he get the coalition that he need. He did it in 2023. They don't want him. They would rather go back and bring Jonathan just to come and be a stumbling block. They can give it to Atiku. Because they know already, Nigerians are not going to fight for Atiku. We are not going to fight for Atiku. If they give it to Atiku and Tinubu decided to run it, Nigerians are not going to fight for Atiku. And I asked you that question. I had a question the other day because I see El-Rufai going about. El-Rufai was talking about how Tinubu is the worst president ever. I still have my skeptical about El-Rufai. That's why I keep saying, even if El-Rufai is supporting P2B today, I will still ask the same question. El-Rufai, what happened between you and Jagaban? Because you need to ask questions before we get into another scammer. We need to know what really happened between Tinubu and El-Rufai. Because I remember in 2023, around September, no, not September 2022, yes, El-Rufai was following Tinubu up and down the country. As a matter of fact, when Tinubu came to London, to Chatham House, where they normally come and get their endorsement from our colonial bosses. If you're on TikTok, do make sure you tap on the screen. TikTok say we are idle. And I have people on TikTok, we are not tapping. There's no point of staying without being active. So I don't want to be idle. I know that you guys are watching. Do find time to tap the screen. Keep your gift, but tap the screen for me, just to make sure that TikTok know I'm not talking to myself. For those of you guys on the YouTube, if you're not watching on the TV, find time to leave the comment on the comment section, just for the algorithm to know that people are active on what we're discussing. When Tinubu came to London and Tinubu was in Chatham House, Tinubu was there and they were asking him a question. Tinubu nominated El-Rufai to answer question for him. That is how close they are. They asked Tinubu question about security, El-Rufai. They asked him about economy, Beni Aide. They asked him about youth empowerment, Dele Alakeja. Right in Chatham House, everybody was shocked. Tinubu delegate questions to this team, to his team that followed him. Just imagine now, I want to be a school principal for your children. You want to bring your child to me to teach him mathematics, economics. And then you want to interview me. And you ask me a question, Mr. Ben, what are you going to do if my son is struggling with maths? Then I say, Joseph, come and answer this question for me. That is how incompetent the sign was in 2023. But I remember when P2B came to the same place. P2B answer question with himself, by himself. So, election come and go. Whether you agree that Tinubu won the election, or it rang it, or whatever means, election came and gone. Somebody was declared the president by INEC. El-Rufai, who was nominated in London to answer questions, was not in the government. 1.5 years later, El-Rufai called Tinubu, described Tinubu as the worst thing that ever happened to Nigeria. I'm going to get that clip out. So that we're all here by ourselves. Because at the end of the day, right, we are seeing history keep on repeating itself. In his recent message, El-Rufai described Tinubu administration as the most corrupt, the most intolerant government in Nigeria since the return to democracy. He also accused it of relying on propaganda to mask out failure, especially regarding security situation, both in the northeast and in the eastern part of Nigeria. Accusation of centralization, authoritarian risk. El-Rufai has also warned that Tinubu government is vying towards authoritarian, raising concern that Tinubu may attempt to become a life president if re-elected in 2027. El-Rufai also lacking the potential trajectory to that of Cameroonian long-serving president Paul Biya. El-Rufai has made claim about certain development projects in Kaduna State, alleging they were initiated during his time, and the current Kaduna State governor, under Ubasani, has publicly accused him of peddling falsehood. I don't believe in El-Rufai. I want you guys to understand. And I know he's a technician when it comes to politics, especially when it comes to the northern politics. But the truth is this. Something happened between El-Rufai and Tinubu, and we have not heard about that. We also want to know, as a P2B supporter, I would like to know what is the truth about the 2023 election. What was the result? And that's why I insist, before we can proceed to start galvanizing support for this coalition, they need to understand Nigerians are not fool. El-Rufai need to come out and say, indeed, Tinubu won the election in 2023. Because I know they have access to the data. They were in the ruling party. They have access to the information available information to them. Atiku also need to come out and tell Nigerians whether he indeed came out third in that election. Because we know with available data to those of us that support P2B, that P2B did not just clear it, P2B won the election hands down. It's a landslide for P2B. Now, we want to know from El-Rufai now, who is vying to replace Tinubu, to chase Tinubu out. What happened in 2023? We need to know. Did the INEC change the result? What happened in Rivers State? Did Atiku came second as they alleged? Those are historical questions that if we are going to move forward and say, El-Rufai, we can work with you as the youth of Nigeria to retry again. We want to know what actually happened in 2023. What happened between you and Tinubu? What disagreement that ensued that made you not to be part of the government that you fought so much hard for? That in that 2023, when you are in London, the president was asked a question by BBC, and the president transferred the question to you. That is how he believed in you. Now, what happened? Those are the basic questions that I believe any political analyst that is fair and just want to know. Who won the election in 2023? El-Rufai and Atiku need to come out and tell Nigerians who actually won this election. Or guys, do you think it's too much to ask? The floor is open on TikTok. If you know what we are talking about, do come in. I can see Etop here. Etos, I would like to have you. And if you are there, Mr. Logic, come over. This is politics. We are getting closer because our youth are lazy, quiet, docile, busy on social media doing F-off. And your country is being run by people that have none of your interests at heart. You think we should all join, gift me on social media, That is one thing I will not accept. That is why I'm speaking. Mr. Etop, good evening.
And it's very much interesting, if I'm to say.
Thank you.
Because I think no one can explain why Toby, who was a subject of a hate narrative 2 years ago, is now the bride of the palace. You can't tell how this gang of unfortunate politicians saw P2B as a misnomer, saw P2B as a political enemy. I mean, to a very critical height. It's very much okay to have a political enemy, an opponent, but the level of pathological dislike and hate that was associated with P2B's candidacy in 2023 was unjustifiable. Also, to the point that in 2025, the same person who you had pathological hatred for has become the pride of the moment. And you can't explain what has changed between 2023 and now. You can't explain what about P2B that was there in 2023 that is no more here us today, if not because of trying to leverage on his popularity, which of course they didn't see it coming in 2023, leverage on his popularity to advance their mischievous political interests. Who were there under Jonathan, who looted and plundered the economy and the ports of the country. I mean, under Jonathan, they did the same under Buhari in a very high level savagery. The point in which they were not only plundering on the patrimony, they were not only plundering the economy, they were not only plundering the resources, they were equally plundering on human rights, plundering on the people's welfare, plundering, and that was under the handiwork of El-Rufai and Buhari. And most of them who are on the corridors now, we're pushing for coalition today. We're on the corridor path when entered, I mean, hundreds of youth
we are pied. We are destroyed.
Sorry, pied in cold blood. I mean, how to explain what has changed between then and now to us? Because the first rule of freedom is truth. We start by telling the truth, which is why you can't have freedom, political freedom, you can't have mental freedom if you don't know your true story, history, where I'm coming from. We had been through this pathway before, but unfortunately, P2B's role, dramatic personnel, when we were on this pathway, was a villain, was a negative factor. But why is he the pride of the moment now, when in practice nothing has changed? I think it's a very big question that has remained unanswered.
Mr. Etop, do you also see that our social media, our commentator, that Nigeria is rapidly losing their voices when it comes to critical talk, when it comes to political conversation? It's more like a dramatic display instead of analysis, conversation that matters. Nigerians are been taken aback, and it is shocking that with our youth, we don't have any political platforms. As I said earlier, we don't have ideology. Nigeria is only country that is not led by ideology. Our university are run by courtiers that talk about their nyash and how they want to do Yahoo, instead of ideology, how to lead a country and how to interject wisdom into the national conversation. What do you think is happening? Don't you remember we talked about this when I was telling you the other time that the purpose of this government is becoming clear, that it looks to me like they have their eye on controlling the narrative by any means necessary. Has anything changed so far since we had that conversation in London?
Not at all, not at all. You see, the truth is, they create a narrative and they try to sustain it. And one way of sustaining the narrative is to make sure there are more mouths.
I think Ethiop is receiving a phone call, but I want to hear from him. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, there are more mouths speaking about it, and every opposition voice is put down, is suppressed. Because if you have 2-3 people talking about the same subject, it is more likely that everyone wants to know what are they talking about. What are they talking about? They're talking about celebrity lifestyle. They're talking about sexuality. They're talking about Yash. They're talking about breast. Talking about how Two-Face left his wife, how his wife is getting married. Or, I mean, all of these updates out there in the media, which would have nothing to do with restructuring the political order to the benefit of everybody. Now, what I want people to understand is it's not about the narrative is not a problem to the elites. It is the consequences of this narrative. If a narrative is being pushed out there and the narrative is one which has no demand for accountability, they won't have problem with it. But a narrative that calls for accountability is problematic to this. I mean, if everybody goes to protest against Two-Face Libya, I mean, 1 million march against Two-Face Libya, the government wouldn't have problem with it. But if there is 10,000 march against maybe government budget, they have a problem. It's not about what people are talking about narrative. It's about the implication to the elites. If it brings them to account for their wrongs, for their crimes, for their acts of criminality and injustices, that is where it becomes a problem. Which is why they continue to fund celebrities that promote inconsequential narratives. They promote and fund celebrities that promote inconsequential practices. Look at that man coming up yesterday to tell the Rattles, let's go in the other way. That was last week, they said, let's go into sanitation. This is a responsibility of the local government. I mean, it's the dumbest thing I can imagine somebody doing.
But do you see, sorry, let me just interrupt you a little. Do you see my anger when I talk about this guy? Now, a lot of people will come up and say, but he's doing the right thing. And I'm looking at me, I'm like, are you okay? You don't understand? Can't you see? This is a game. This is a game. This guy want to build borehole for local government. He want to advertise phone number that any local government that have no borehole, they should call him. He want to rescue kidnapper from Major Road. Now he want to do sanitation. No, there was no kidnapper. I think we have put that one to rest now. That was just drama. And his followers, they know about it, but they will keep quiet. So we exposed it. We did everything to show. I was the first person that came up and said this guy was lying. I watched the video and I came live. I said, this guy is a liar. This guy is just acting drama on a major road. And it turned out to be the truth. It turned out to be the truth. Now, the question you should be asking yourself as his listener, why would he go to that level? What is he trying to achieve? Because Nigerians lack critical thinking, and that is why stupidity flourishes in that land. So we are able to dismantle that lies that there was no kidnapper being rescued. Just a lie. It's just a bogus lie that he lied. But there are people who are smart, educated, have family, have children, and they know this is not correct. They kept quiet. Why do you? Because this is why I'm so pissed. Why do you think so?
So they continue to leverage on the illiteracy at the level of mediocrity that exists out there. Because if you check his lineup of followers, these are people who know nothing about governance. I'm even surprised. Most of them do not even know the full names of the president. Most of them don't even have voters card. You wouldn't encourage them to go get a voters card. Most of them don't even know a constituency, how to vote in an election. There are not people voted, and he wouldn't encourage them to vote. But what he encourages them to do are those things that do not have political consequence. Those things that will not be able to bring government to account. Because how can you tell people to go clean the gutters when they pay taxes for government to do that? What about he go telling the people, go and stand in front of the local government and demand accountability?
Or how can you tell people that you want to put a phone number in no local government? If you don't have borehole, I'll come and help you. And you know you can't achieve that. You just said it.
The government that should have done it should be brought to account, which he doesn't want to go that route. Because he knows that if he goes there, it's going to cause a political consequence. It's going to be accountability and revolution.
I tell you something. This boy is own. Let me bring, there's a guy that joined us. SK, go ahead. If you can hear me. SK, are you there? The man in heart and blue. Let me not keep you waiting. If you want to have your say. Now, before he comes, I have muted you. If you want to speak, you can speak. Mr. Eto, you see, one of the biggest thing I thank God for you is you don't think like a loser. A loser is somebody who just allow other people to think for them. You think smart, you think logical. And logic, read the word, logic form identities of a nation, not emotion. I don't have any problem with very dark man. He's a young boy who is hustling for his money, but at the detriment.
People think we hate him or attack him for no reason.
Yeah.
It's not a personal issue.
This is not personal. This is not personal. This is, people don't understand. When he came out and he said, I wanted to arrest a kidnapper on the major road. And I was able to take one person to the hospital. It's not different. That story he gave is not different to the story that the governor of Edo State gave in London of awarding a contract of 250 million to somebody that is not existing. There's no difference. You just have to check the realities of what they are saying. And it doesn't take anything. It just takes openness and check. This man is saying he's coming. Kidnapper along the road. Driver on the floor. Pick the driver to the hospital. Who is the driver? How did they know he was the driver? What is the identity of that guy? What are the identity of the people in the vehicle? What is the outcome of GTB Bank? All of these outlandish statements and lies that is being perpetrated in the public eye. There is something being cooked behind those things. People don't understand government. They are powerful. They are tools. And when we come on this platform and talk like that, you remember about a few weeks ago, Tom Robinson was able to gather 2 million UK citizens on the street of London. The biggest. You may disagree with his political ideology, but he is using his movement for a means to liberate his own people in his own eye. The guy that they assassinated in America, political. The biggest influencer in the US, they are political. They lobby, they change rules and policies. We sat here when Nigerian Senate passed a bill to criminalize bloggers in Nigeria. The Cybercrime Bill 2025 that was passed in July. When that bill was reading through the Senate, we are here talking about it. Nobody listening to us. The bill is now a law. Whether you like it or not, it is a law of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Means if you make one year comment under this post now, they can trace to your IP and come and pick you up. You go explain tire.
And just to add to it, the morning when the bill was signed by the president, that was the morning when that man EFCC saga was happening. So it's that policy, that law, on the Monday morning, that was when they released that man. So on Saturday and Friday.
When the bill was being passed and the president was signing the bill, VDM came up with EFCC versus VDM. And Mumu people gather in Abuja, free very dark man, free VDM, GTB Bank, free our people, GTB Bank. You know they see Ndala. Una know they see. They don't pass the bill now. I'm in the UK. Una go do like this before una go see handcuff on my hand. Now you wait there. Now una the pity. Let me bring Anna. Anna, are you there? Hannah. A lady that joined us, Hannah. Hannah, if you are there, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and have your say.
So basically, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't really know what you guys were discussing, but what attracted me was how would I start it now? The video. And from what I could have heard so far, you're talking about something about political stuff, right?
Yes.
So if you can brief me, let me know what it is.
We are literally talking about everything that is happening in Nigeria, how our Nigerian youth have been basically conditioned to prioritize their priority on social media hype than having a conversation that can actually lead to a proper change. I've also used examples of what happened in Nepal recently. And I've also talked about Peter Obi, why Peter Obi is still a big threat to the APC, even though APC government, they are not attacking the man who they allegedly came second in the last election, who is Atiku. They constantly drag Peter Obi on the floor. Yesterday, Peter Obi came out and greeted the Oba of Ibadan that have just been enthroned, Oba Ladoja, a former governor, a former senator, a governor that was impeached just like Peter Obi, a governor that fought to get his seat back as an impeached governor, just like Peter Obi fought to get his seat back. Peter Obi came out and greeted the governor, the Oba. Congratulations on your exalted office as a new Oba of Ibadan, and referred to him as my brother. APC young tout, led by Reno Mokre, begin to attack Peter Obi since yesterday. Now, the question we are asking is this: what is Nigerian young people priority? Then, during the length of that conversation, I also talked about a very highly influential Nigerians, very dark man. And I don't believe in him. I believe that he's a tool in the hand of politicians. And it's being used to control the narrative in Nigeria. And we'll bring example of some of his achievements, including GTB Bank, including him rescuing a kidnapping victim in Edo. All of them turn out to be lies, literally. So we're talking about all of this, and we're asking, what is the main prize for all of this drama that this guy is acting, or these actors are acting? And this is the conversation we are having. And Mr. Etop has been very kind to drop a lot of wisdom in the conversation before you came in.
Let me buttress my point in relation to what he just said. The first thing, number one, is that every society needs to change. For every society that wants to change, there is a change factor. We call it social engineering. For every society that wants to change, mention Chinese Revolution, American Revolution, French Revolution, there's always a change factor. And that change factor is triggered by the consciousness of the people, the ability of the people to think in the same direction of change. Because if you and I now want to move a project, you have to be in the same spirit with me, isn't it? You have to be in the same direction as I am. If we are thinking of improving the economy, we all have to tell our actions collectively towards anything that leads to economic change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we live in a society where a bulk majority of the people who have the ability to change the society and the youths have been conditioned to think a certain direction, which do not lead to change, it becomes a problem. Now, what do I mean by this? We are living in a country that has about 75% young population, aging between 18 to 45. And then you have the same economy, which GDP is about $300 billion. Now, economy that if you say, okay, per capita income, each person should be having not less than maybe around 80,000 naira to maybe 450,000 naira in their hand. I mean, at every point in time, but that's not the reality. And we are saying, okay, we are not comfortable with it. Our currency has plummeted negatively. And then when I say, no, we have to bring a change. And what we need to drive this change is not talking about yash. He's not talking about breast. He's not talking about celebrity. He's not talking about destructive conversations and narratives that do not need to change. We have to talk about governance. We have to be able to hold people to account when they're in public positions. But then what happens in real time is that we have social media influencers who are living narratives that do not need to change. I don't know if you understand me. Yeah. You and I are here. I'm able to talk to 20 people. You're able to talk to 20 people. And then when I go to talk to my own 20 people, I told them, no, show me your breast. They have a big breast. Oh, the other person has a small breast. Oh, the other person has left his ex and his girlfriend. Oh, the other person was caught the other night in a leaked video, and then the video is causing a trend. Meanwhile, that's not what should be to change conversation. I should be telling people, get your voter's card. I should be telling people, no, the government is the people in power need to be questioned. The right questions should be asked. Now, these social media influencers, one of which is very prominent, very dark man, we have been able to see one or two or more scenarios where he has lied to the public. He has lied to you and I. Of course, I've been able to decode the lies. And number one, which I've told you, is that, can you remember, Henna, when he said he went to, which country was it, to get traffic here?
Ivory Coast.
Can you remember, Henna?
Yes, I do.
Now, what if I tell you that there was no traffic here? What if I tell you that all those things were farcical, they are lies? There is no single truth in it. There is nobody missing. There was no traffic here anywhere. What if I tell you that?
How did you verify that?
That is why you should follow this platform. That is why you should follow this platform. If you can come back on this platform by tomorrow, I'll be able to give you.
Now I can actually educate my sister. Now, okay. Let me just say it. Now, how do we verify the story there? Is that we did not just verify it via social media. We verified by the utterances of very dark man himself. We verified by the event that followed after. We verified by also making our own internal investigation back to Ivory Coast and the story that did not add up. For example, he told us, I was in my hotel. All of a sudden, this NGO, no name. Do you know the name of the NGO in Ivory Coast that Hold on. I want to discuss with my sister. Thank you, Mr.
I don't. In fact, most of the things that man does, for me, I take almost all of them with a pinch of salt.
And we shouldn't. My sister, my sister, I want to stop you. My sister, this is this water is to clean my glasses. These glasses. Now, If I say this water is to clean your eye, I'm trying to defeat the ideology or pinch of salt that a lot of Nigerians are taking without speaking. If I say hold it, Anna, and I begin to put pepper in your eye, and you keep on doing this to clean it, how long are you going to hold it for? So this is what he's doing for us. He is not calling him a content creator is even an insult. He's not a content creator. He's a dangerous president in Nigeria. I'm saying it. It is a fake. Anybody who can tell you, I went to the hotel and somebody called me that there was an 11-year-old child that is kidnapped, that is trafficked, that they knocked the girl so much, the girl carry HIV. And I quickly dressed up in my hotel because this girl has been rescued by this unknowing orphanage home, no name. And then I had to go there. When I got there, they told me the 11-year-old girl has gone. Gone where?
Okay. With that regards, I'm also looking at it in this line. Probably because it's on social media, we wouldn't want to name places. Not like I believe everything he says. So at times, when we want to speak, we wouldn't want to mention name, or because of you don't know people that are watching or people that are aiming at the person. So for me, I think that one is excusable a bit.
Okay, let's excuse him. Let's give him excuse. Then he said, okay, 11-year-old girl has gone. There are another girls, 13 girls, small girl, age 13 to 15. He even interviewed them, one Rama, 2, and one other girl, 3 of them. One from Ibadan. One was coming out of school, and a woman said, come into my car. And the next thing, the girl wake up in Ivory Coast, and 7 men were knocking her. And she has been in Ivory Coast. Finally, VDM jump in, and VDM want to rescue. Okay, 3 girls. And there's other Hausa girl that have never spoke Hausa until VDM entered there. VDM spoke Hausa with them for the first time. And VDM was like emotional. And VDM came back to Nigeria. Abike Dabri, your mama, your papa, if you don't go bring this girl. Finally, VDM carried 20 million and gave it to NAPTEC. NAPTEC is going to bring these girls. NAPTEC returned the money back to VDM. ARPs recommended they want to help. Okay, we said we are waiting. And I came on my platform and I vow. I said, if those girls...
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I say, if those girls that VDM showed to us on a video, if they enter Nigeria, I promise one of his supporters here $1,000 that day, £1,000. I said they will never come to them because they are not Nigerians. They were hired. People were laughing like I'm joking. Have you ever seen those girls in Nigeria, my sister? They never come. Has VDM ever returned back to that story again?
Never. Anytime I'm not always online, so I was like, probably it has been a follow-up or something.
Okay, let's stop there. The man, the woman who the mother transfer money to on GDP on because maybe it's a young girl, he doesn't want to call the name of the girl, he doesn't want to disclose the address. But what about the GTB bank that the mama carry money and transfer to? Where he said, my mama no collect any money, the GTB they rob my mama. What is the name of that person in her mother's office? Who is basically a thief that should be exposed?
For me, that GTV, I'm not defending him. He's not my fan. I don't fancy him at all. That of GTV, I think he went silent because probably somehow they were found guilty.
No, this is...
couldn't publicly come out to say, okay, my people know.
Okay, if it's a honest person, mama, my sister, a honest person should come out and say, okay, we got this one wrong. Yeah. Your mother loan money. Your mother transfer money to buy ajojumo. Your mother paid tithes. You came out and lied to the public, and Mumu follower came on the street and started to protest, cancel GDP, cancel GTB bank. And at the end of the day, we find out that everything you say was a lie. And no apology, no public statement. You just silent and move on to Yabojo and other people. It doesn't make any sense. These are the reason why he cannot sell further. It is not possible because truth, listen, my sister, truth can carry 1 million followers. Truth can carry 10,000 followers. Lie with 2 million followers will be defeated.
That's true.
Lie, because you can't defend it. Everything he has stood for, he can't defend it. He went on the street of Edo that I'm rescuing a kidnapper. It's a lie. His followers were calling me and said, Ben, how do you always get this thing right? It was a skit they're making. Today, what is the name of the person they rescued from the road to the hospital? What is the name of the passenger that was taken into the bush? Have you ever seen a bus that is traveling from Edo to Abuja that have no baggages inside? No bags, no suitcase? Or did the kidnapper also carry the suitcase along inside the bush? Everything is there. The lies are there. The pattern are there. And when we talked about it, somebody will say, you are jealous. I am 40-something-year-old man. What am I jealous on a young man? But we are not dealing with this on a young man. The guy that changed American political history, who is part of the people that elected Donald Trump, his name is Clerical, the guy they just killed now. He's 33 years old man. He's 33-year-old. So we don't decide this kind of thing by age. So I am not against him, my sister, and I will love you guys to keep supporting him. But you people should never give him a pass.
For me, it's like he's a content creator. So when I come across his page, I just read it. Maybe if he says something that I am interested in at that point, I'll listen. After that, I'm not a supporter of very dark man. I think what the problem we have with Nigeria or in Nigeria is that most of us, we're easily manipulated. We're easily influenced. People don't have a mind of their own. And this thing started as far back as school days. I remember when I was in school, in primary school, you have that this certain set of clique that they just want everybody to do whatever they want. If they say this is how they want the class to run for that day, everybody will. And I find myself, I'm never with those kind of people. And for that reason, me, I have a mind of my own. So in this era of social media, I soon discovered that people are using it for so many negative things. Yes, social media is very, very good. We learn a lot. We come across different information, communication, and everything. Very effective. But at the same time, people are using social media to manipulate, to influence people. People no longer have a mind of their own. Just come stop and say something, and everybody buys the idea. And if you try to oppose or say something contrary to what that person has said, people just start attacking you. That's one is true. And I noticed that with the very dark one, because right from the time it started with this, what's the name of that lady that time? Something
Jenny Glow.
After that, the period of Jenny Glow, initially, I kind of saw reason with him. But when the second video came up, it was something else different. You're gonna learn the hard way. Like, what's wrong with this guy? Let's try to. There are many ways you can correct somebody. You don't need to come out on the social media and start bringing people down. You can actually, if you really mean well, you can reach out to them privately and talk to them one-on-one. Instead, when they don't accept or maybe they come out to call you out, you can challenge them. So with that, I started looking at him critically. That there's something about this guy that it's not right. And before you knew it, he had so many followers. You can't even just say anything. Once you open your mouth to stand against BDM or against any other person, including all of them, there's a CEO. Yes, they are good in their ways. They are not. I'm not supporter of anybody. So whenever I see any of them, but at times I won't be able to say anything. I can't say much because people just come up to attack you, abuse you. In fact, if it's President Tinubu say they abuse the hell out of me, they will abuse you. So things are really happening in this country that it's not right. But I think the way forward is, first and foremost, people need to have a mind of their own. Be smart enough, intelligent, be able to verify some information, and at the same time be patient, because truth is just a matter of it's a test of time. With time, everybody's true image will reveal. If you have true image for yourself, it's just a matter of time. So for me, if you come out to say something nice, okay, that's nice. I'll be watching. I said, when you say something contrary, I'll also be watching. It's just a matter of time. People will be able to evaluate it to say, right now, I don't think the way his followers were before, this lady really brought out so many evidence against him. I mean, the VDM.
Yeah, Lizzie did. Mm-hmm.
Lizzie really finished very dark.
Lizzie did him, yeah. And Lizzie was one of the biggest supporter of Very Dark Man. I was the one advocating for him. And the problem, Lizzie is in the UK here with us, obviously. And a lot of people are seeing what is happening. They're not calling it out because they want to protect their brand. They want to protect their image. Nedo Wazobia is my friend. When the case came up against Nedo and they were attacking Nedo on the social media, I reach out to the people that Nedo has issue with in the UK. That is Metropolitan London UK Online University. And I spoke to the director, Tolu. I spoke to the husband. I recorded it and I broadcast it here. And they were begging. They told me, which I have on the record, that they did not accuse Nedo of defrauding them. I asked them, who gave Very Dark Man this information? He said they are not the one. I say, who then give? I have everything on the record. I basically have them live here. They told me they are not the one. I said, what is the way forward? They were begging me because I went on their website, just like the way the man went on Euro Africa CCI website and discover that's a fraudulent website. I discovered the school itself was never planning to bring anybody from Nigeria. I then asked the lady, which I can play the record now. I asked the lady, were you guys planning to carry anybody from Nigeria? He said no. They were to give them laptop and teach them that they were never going to take anybody from Nigeria to the UK. I said, where VDM get all of this from? He said, they don't know VDM. I guarantee you that they don't know I later discovered they know Very Dark Man. Now, I told these people, you people lied against Nedo and you wanted to destroy his character. I'm not vowing for Nedo, but the reality is this. Very Dark Man get a wrong message and he's destroying a man who has hustled from one tiny room to the pinnacle of his career as the biggest podcaster in Nigeria. You can't just bring him out under one day. It was so myopic that they were recruiting people, Lucky Idu, and one other guy that came out and said Nedu told him to say he fell in love with a poor girl. I'm like, you are an adult. You pay somebody 5 million because you want to go viral. And the person said, these are the things you can say to go viral. Because if you preach sense, you don't go viral. If you talk nonsense, you go viral. You say you want to go viral.
That guy, that period, seriously.
So we did everything. We exonerate Nedo in open way to the point I even filed a police report as well against the company in the UK. The case was dead and buried. About 2 weeks ago, Very Dark Man came online again and started to lie. As he was not seeing content, Nedo cannot come to the UK. Nedo was this. Nedo was Nedo is a criminal. They're looking for him in the UK. I said, what is this nonsense? My sister, Nedo just left United Kingdom 2 days ago. Nedo have no problem. Nedo came to see me. Nedo came to see other people. I had an interview with him. Nedo went back home. Nedo went through the airport. Nedo has no issue. But Very Dark Man who came out 2 weeks ago.
He's threatened by Nedo because Nedo is running the podcast whereby people come on, I think that was the name of that. Is it Honest Bunch?
Honest Bunch. They even removed Nedo from that Honest Bunch. His baby, Nedo was a pioneer. Nedo was the name behind that. They even removed him. Nedo said, I asked Nedo, why do you have to? Nedo said, I have to leave because other people, my colleagues, they need to eat. I'm not going to, because of myself, to stay. Let me step out, which is what a wise man should do. But Very Dark Man came out 2 weeks ago and said Nedo cannot enter UK, that he has done his investigation, that the police are waiting for him at the airport. Can he come back and tell his follower now he was lying? He's not going to do that. Has his follower going to demand that accountability from him? He's not going to do that. It is crazy how much you people are giving to these guys. I can tell you they are working for politicians and they are working to divert and dilute the brains of Nigerians for a political purpose. People may not understand it, but as time gets closer to 2027, the reality will become a reality. And people will be like, Mr. Ben, you've been saying it. I said I've been saying it because we know. I want to thank you, my sister, for joining.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Etop, do you have anything to say to add into the long conversation that we had so far? Sorry, Dara.
I don't have any comment now. Maybe subsequently.
Thank you. For those of you guys that are still watching on YouTube, I want to thank you guys for being part. To be honest with you, I don't have a schedule on this platform. Whenever I am free, I will enter the studio and I will do my thing. I don't blog for my living. I blog because it's my passion and I desire to do this for my own quarter, for my country. I am not against any tribes or any Tinubu. I am against his policy. I am against a government that don't take the priorities of Nigerians at heart. I'm against a lie government. And that is why we are doing this. Thank you so much for the gift. That is why we are doing this. We're not doing this because we are loyal to any politicians. Many of you heard me now when I was calling El-Rufai out to come and give account of why he fall out with Buhari, with Tinubu. When Tinubu believed in him so much that even when they came to London, Tinubu have to transfer question to him. Now, something must have happened within that relationship. And when Mr. Etop came up, he said, there must be something because P2B was destroyed by you people in 2023. Now, P2B is the darling of the table right now. What has changed between 2023, a year and a half later? What has changed? So that's why I'm also advising P2B, don't walk into a dead zone. Calculate and make sure that the people you're going to work with have your interests at heart. Not like they will use you for popularity and they will dump you along the way while they went behind to make a deal. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Tinubu is in power today. Tinubu will not be alive in the next 15 years. And I'm not being sarcastic for that. He's old and he definitely will go. If we follow by the natural sequence of life, Tinubu will go before me. So I cannot believe that he have the final say in our nation. So the people of this country, the young people of this country, must not give themselves on nonsense on social media and lost their priority of what conversation need to be have, what need to be talked about, where we need to go, who we need to hold accountable. They're going to try to divide you by tribe, religions. Stick your ground and make sure you are standing for what you believed in. And that is dignity of our people. I want to thank you guys for joining. Mr. Etop, thank you so much for being part of the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Ben.
Thank you, much appreciated. For those of you guys on YouTube, I want to thank you guys. The video is available to watch on YouTube. My YouTube is Mr. Ben Speak. If you want to join on that platform, join on the YouTube where you can watch the video on the comfort of your living room. We have a clear video, a clear voice that you can enjoy on your go as well. I want to thank you guys for being part of the evening. And for those of you guys that gifted me, thank you for your gift. I appreciate it. Most of all, thank you, Anne, for being part of the evening. Thank you, Etop. And on the YouTube, thank you guys for being part of the evening. God bless you and bye.